never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising Big Cat Fire Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 20th of October, the Moon in Gemini squares Saturn in Pisces. Responsibilities or fears, especially related to family or personal matters, might weigh heavily on your mind. Travel plans or communication efforts could face delays or feel restricted. Bellatrix, also serious, adds frustration, urging caution in how you handle obligations. You may encounter harsh truths influenced by Aldebaran, which prompts a re-evaluation of your long-term goals. On the 21st, Mercury in Scorpio trines Saturn in Pisces. Mental focus is sharp, making this an ideal day for deep investigative work. Long-term decisions or commitments are favoured, as Saturn stabilizes Mercury's intense energy. Antares enhances the power of your thoughts and words, enabling breakthroughs. Discussion or ideas today could shift your perspective profoundly. On the 22nd, the Sun in Libra squares Pluto in Capricorn. The Sun in Libra is in its fall. Power struggles in relationships or professional matters may arise, intensifying the dynamics. The need for transformation becomes apparent, pushing you to confront hidden issues. The transit brings a powerful urge for self-assertion, which could lead to conflict if mishandled. On the 23rd, the Moon in Cancer is conjunct to Mars in Cancer. Emotions will be high and impulsive. Reactions may lead to family tensions. Mars is in its fall, so you may feel emotionally charged and difficult to control. Sirius magnifies emotional intensity, making any conflicts more significant. On the 24th, the Moon enters Leo. The Moon is in fall in Leo. Confidence and self-expression are boosted as the Moon is in Leo. It encourages boldness. Regulus and amplifies leadership qualities, pushing you to take center stage in personal or creative matters. A desire for recognition could lead to you seeking validation, which is a no-no. On the 25th, the Moon in Leo sextiles Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter is in its detriment in Gemini. Optimism and a positive mindset are highlighted, making it a good time for socializing. Opportunities for personal growth may arise, especially in learning or expanding your horizons. Aldebaran enhances the potential for success if you focus on balance and avoid excess. On the 26th, Vesta enters Libra, initiating a transit that will last until the 14th of January 2025. Providing an extended time to explore themes of partnership, fairness and commitment. Sepika adds a sense of protection and potential for success in areas where dedication and devotion are applied. Expect to feel more motivated to maintain the equilibrium in close connections, refining how you handle personal relationships and agreements. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave! Namaste! Grand Rising Big Cat Fire Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for messages for your next 7 days. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive right in and unpack. Give it a good shufti. Good golly and gosh, you have the energy of a 10, darling dears. So something has reached its culmination. It's come to an ending. Okay? And on top you have another 10. So we've got 10-10 on the tableau, darling dears. Whenever we see the 10-10, this is the universe's code, darling dears. it's source code, like binary code, darling dears, original text. Remember I told you that, okay? It's telling you that you have to continue, keep going forward, because you are at breakthrough, darling dears. You've been working hard on something. Maybe you haven't seen your efforts return back to you yet, darling dears. But this is about you digging deep, darling dears. Dig deep. Dig deep and hold your gangster, darling dears. Whatever you're doing, keep at it. You are at breakthrough. Love it. I don't hate it. As far as the numerology is concerned, I use the Pythagorean theorem, so it only goes from 1 to 9. But I'm going to break it down to the energy of a 1, darling dears. The energy of the 1 is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But it also represents your career, darling dears. Some kind of life mission, some kind of life path you're on. Get it? Whatever you've been working on, darling dears, put your back into it, because you are about to get a major return. Remember I told you that. Okay. All right. Let's press on. Let's press on. It's the northwardly direction, darling dears, and this is a low shoe grid, so you could put something in the north part of your house, okay, something to bring abundance to you, something that looks like something that's working on your career. It could be anything, darling dears. What you think is appropriate, put it in the north space of your home. Remember I told you that. You can go online and look up the low shoe grid, okay, and it will tell you exactly what you need to put in that corner of your house. Remember I told you that. All right, let's press on. Let's press on. We're going to talk about the 5s, darling dears. The energy of the 5 tells me that someone or something feels threatened by the foundation that you're securing for yourself. Okay, it also could be you, darling dears, having these doubts about what you've been building, thinking that you're not putting in enough effort, or your efforts are going for waste. No, blood. Trust and believe. You are being noticed. Why? The energy of the 10 is what? Saturn energy, darling dears. And Saturn comes through with the rules and regulations as well as the rewards. Remember, Saturn is the father of time. So something is coming towards you. Something that you've been working on diligently. Okay? All right. So we've got Capricorn energy plus Saturn energy out here, darling dears. Good golly. And the gosh. And the gosh, darling dears. All right. Let's press on. Let's press on. So then, as I said, the energy of the 5, it could be you self-sabotaging yourself, or people around you feeling threatened by what it is you're co-creating for yourself. We've got the energy of the 4, darling dears. The 4 speaks about there's going to be a lot of communication for you over the next 7 days. Phone calls, visits, meetings, whatever, darling dears. It's all going to be going in your favor, but it's working. You're working on your behalf, but it's working in your favor over the next 7 days. Good golly and good gosh. Oh my God. Hold on a minute. Oh my God. When you're going through the menopause, blood. 1 minute, I'm cold. I had my hoodie up. The hood. Listen, I got to take off a layer, blood. Hold on. Shit. Hey, listen. I got to take off my shit. And next thing you know, I'm sweating again. At night time, I have to leave my left foot out. My pinky toes have to be left out at night. Otherwise, there's hell to pay. Hell to pay. Woo, child. Anyhow, let's press on. Let's press on. Where was I? Back to the beginning. The energy of the 5, darling dears. We all know that the 5 is about the 5th house. The 5th house is about your hidden talents, your uniqueness. It's about romance. It's about dating. The energy of the 4 also speaks about, as I said, lots of communication. But it also speaks about somebody meeting someone coming into their life, which is going to have a profound effect. So we've got the 4th, the energy of the 4 plus the 5th house, darling dears. Okay. Somebody's also reaching some kind of retirement. Okay, because the 4th house is about retirement, as well as you're going to hear of a passing. Okay. Saturn itself is masculine energy, darling dears. So it's most likely going to be a male passing. My condolences, darling dears. We have the energy of the 6. The 6 is about your health. If you need to book an appointment to get something looked at, darling dears, go for it. Or somebody's going to ask you to assist them to go through these doctor's appointments, medical visits, darling dears, hospital visits. Somebody's going to ask him for your help, or you need to book for your help. Okay, all right. We've got the energy of Saturn on the tableau, darling dears, on the tableau. So Saturn itself is about, come on, case, bring it all back, bring it all back. Saturn has things to do with your skin, your bones, your teeth, your ears, and your knees. So you may need to book an appointment for that, or somebody wants you to assist them on their appointments, darling dears, like a caretaker. Yeah, this is these areas that will be coming up, darling dears. Somebody's a teacher. This person that's going to pass, darling dears, Saturn energy, this person is old age, so they've lived a full life. Okay, all right, let's press on. Let's press on. The energy of the 5th house, darling dears, is about romance. It's about dating, but it's also what? Drama.com, darling dears. Somebody's going to want drama with you. Somebody's also what? Somebody's gambling. If you're gambling, don't risk more than you can afford to lose. Be very careful with the money that you put out there, darling dears. The energy of the 5th house also speaks about your children. The relationship with your children is going to be coming up over the next 7 days. Okay, the 5th house is also about your experiences as a child, as well as what? Past life karma in the 5th house, darling. So it's something that needs to be rectified. I nearly said resurrected. We ain't bringing up no one from the dead blood. No. Yeah. But the energy of the 5th house is about you taking some kind of a risk. Somebody's also a teacher, or maybe you're going into studying. Go for it, darling dears. You can never have too much knowledge. And if anyone's telling you that they know everything, arch your back and run in the other direction. Like Tinky Winky, darling dears. Because why? It take one fool to make many fools. Okay. What else do we have to say? So the 10 itself, we already said it's Saturn energy. But because I use the Pythagorean theorem, that only goes from 1 to 9. We're going to bring it down to a 1. So the 1 is about yourself. The 1st house is Mars energy, which is Aries, darling dears. It's about you, as I said, a fresh start, something coming towards you. It's going to put you in a leadership position. Okay. It's also about your relationships with your close family. I already said something coming up with your progeny over the next 7 days. You're at the beginning of something, darling dears. At the beginning. But it's also a reminder that you must continue to stand up for yourself. You have a lot of competition around you. For those of you with lots of progeny, the 1st house is also representative of your 5th child. So it could be somebody whose 5th child is going to have issues over the next 7 days. Whether it's good or bad, you'll find out, darling dears. You surely will, especially if you're the parent. You hear everything. Okay. The energy of Mars also is a reminder to be careful of accidents over the next 7 days. Okay, accidents with the stabberoo or the pow. Be very careful, darling dears, because you could be cutting something, you can cut your hand. Do you understand what I'm saying? Be very careful over the next 7 days. All right, do we press on? Yes, we're going to press on. Okay, the energy of the 10, according to the 48 laws of power, is what? Stay away from losers, darling dears. Right? That's what? Point A and point B, darling dears. Blood clottery. And blood clot. You don't want to be around them, darling dears, because it will take you straight to dummy back territory. Law number 10. We also have what? Because I said we're bringing the 10 down to a 1, we have law number 1. Somebody tried to outshine the master. Silly rabbit. They're going to find out some shiznai about you over the next 7 days. Listen, people underestimated you, darling dears. Underestimated your gangster, your comeback, whatever it is, darling dears. Remember, you originated with what? Binary source code. The universe has your back. You are at breakthrough, darling dears. Okay. What's on the side? We've got a 6 and a 4. Oh my God. 10, 10, 10. Baby. Ooh, child. The good, the golly, and the gosh, darling dears. And the gosh. Listen, as I said, whatever it is that has come to its culmination, when something comes to its culmination, it means that karma is attached to this. And I already said past life karma has come up from your 5th house, darling dears. Okay. So you're releasing that. So yeah, the karma that's attached to it, but it's also about your transformation. I said you have 10, 10, 10. Blimey, this is going to be a fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely week for you, bestie. Okay, let's press on. Let's press on. So the meaning on the runestones, the energy of the 10 itself is representative of the strength card in tarot, darling dears. This is Nathaz. Okay. It tells me about the determination. It tells me about the patience that you've applied to a situation. The energy of the strength card also tells me that you've avoided some kind of drama.com. It speaks about your inner strength, darling dears. You also have a timeline date of the 23rd of July to the common case 22nd of August. This is going forward, darling dears. Okay, or something could have happened around that time. Okay. It's because the strength card speaks about your mental and your spiritual growth, darling dears. It's time for you to take action. You've been put in many a challenging situation. Okay, if you're in a love situation at this moment in time, your connection is going to be deepening over the next 7 days. Okay, let's press on. So according to the life path numbers, they go from 1 to 9. This goes down to a 1, darling dears. So your life path number, you could be a life path number 1, or the numbers 1, 10, 19, and 28 will be on your hemisphere over the next 7 days, as well as the letters A, J, and S. And the number 1 is ruled by the Sun, Big Cat Leo energy, as well as the letters A, I, J, Q, and Y. So A, J, S, A, I, J, Q, and Y. You're going to be put into a leadership position, darling dears. Your luckiest numbers will be 1, 2, 5, okay, as well as the numbers 1, 10, 19, and 28, darling dears, and 1, 2, 5. Your luckiest days will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The energy of the 1, darling dears, is ruled by a conjunction, and a conjunction is what? New beginnings, darling dears. New beginnings, having released some kind of karmic debt. Remember, I told you that. Okay, the energy of the Sun tells me about you tapping into your natural creativities at this moment in time. You've learned a great lesson, darling dears. You may be in a partnership, but you've learned to be self-reliant. Listen, everybody must bring something to the table, darling dears. And if you are too dependent on your partner, that's where people take the piss and a shit in your life. I've told you, bestie, you've got to have some things for yourself. Okay, this is about you, because you got the 10, 10, 10. It's telling you to take a new approach, darling dears. Yes, you are doing the same thing you was doing before, darling dears, but look at it with fresh eyes. I told you, you are at breakthrough. Remember, I told you that. Now I've started to freeze to death. Hold on a minute. Let me put my my hoodie back on. All right. Good God. Listen, this is like war-torn circumstances, darling dears. 1 minute it's hot to trot, and the next we're in Siberia. Okay, I'll put my hoodie back on. Listen, when it's time for me to I could be walking down the road or in my car. If the car says pull over and take off all your clothes, right? Within reason, because I ain't getting arrested in these streets. I've got to do it. I've got to pay attention, because the sweating. And I'm not talking about perspiration, darling. I'm talking about sweating. The kind of sweat that drips between your eyebrows, darling dears, and down your back. And it's cold sweat. Yes. Anyhow, let's press on. Where was I? Continue. Did I give you the life path numbers? Because you see, when I give my readings, darling dears, I give you so much information at the front. So if this message is to resonate with you, it could be through a life path number, the number on the dice, something to do with the 48 laws of power, something to do with the rune stones, all of this and that, darling dears. But what I can tell you is that we have the element of the first house as well as Saturn, number 8. So it's 1 and 8, darling dears. Okay. 1 and 8 goes together to make a 9, and again the culmination, the ending of a situation that is fated. Remember, I told you that the energy of Saturn rules the numbers 8, 17 and 26, as well as the letters H, Q and Z. Okay, and Saturn rules the letters P and F. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. Okay, so it's about your ambition, you building a new structure for yourself, darling. There's, as I said, lots of communication is going to be coming in and being given out by you over the next 7 days. All right, I was wondering why it's so dark in here. Okay, let's press on, all right, before the sweating start again. Okay, let's get your Oracle Ancestral message. We're going to go with the Numerology deck. I haven't used that in a month of Sundays. Trying to jump straight out. Look, the end of a tough cycle approaches. What did I just finish telling you, darling dears? And did I not just mention Capricorn? Capricorn, Saturn energy. Listen, and you have to also remember, right, that Pluto is in Capricorn. It's at this moment in time, it's directing Capricorn until the 19th of November, right? And this is the last time Pluto will be in Capricorn in our lifetimes. It's not coming back for about another 240 years, darling dears. None of us are going to be there, okay? So this is telling you to what? Double down on whatever efforts that you've been making. Remember, you could be a cardinal sign, right? Fire sign, okay? Or have it on your birth natal chart, darling dears, and I'm talking about a lot of fire energy, okay? We've also got the water energy with Saturn out here. Yeah, your commitment is being tested. Didn't I just say tests and challenges? You're being tested, darling dears. Don't fall for it, and don't you second guess yourself. Whatever you're doing, it's time for you to put your back into it. Remember, I told you that. All right, let's press on. Let's press on. Okay, let's get to the decks. I feel like I need to get some out. Let me get some outside energy before I press on. I'm gonna go with the blue deck. Because a first quarter moon is an opportunity for spiritual growth, darling dears. This is a first quarter moon, and we've got a full moon in the back. We're just at this moment in time. We're going through the full moon in full moon solar eclipse in Aries. Okay, and remember that energy lasts for up to 6 months after. Okay. Yeah, because here you come with the plot twist, darling dears. People underestimating your gangster. Well, guess what? Proverbs 31:10. You are more precious than diamond and gold, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. Love yourself. Because you can't do anything for no one else unless you put yourself first. Okay, to the depths. So, something that you've been working on. We hear that you're going to have some kind of something to do with your progenies coming up. It's also about romance and dating. Thank you. Your first card, darling dears, moon energy on its forehead, darling dears. Good golly and the gosh. This speaks about what? An enemy of yours is about to be revealed to you, darling dears. This person has created some kind of anxiety. They was extremely deceptive towards you. This person is a liar and a cheat. If it's a partner, it's the wrong partner for you, darling dears. It's all going to come out. It's all going to come out in the wash. Yeah? You're going to be discovering a lot of hidden truths. The plot twist is that you're going to be able to cope with it, darling dears. Why? Because you got the 10-10-10. You are more precious than diamonds and gold. Proverbs 31:10. The skullduggery of it all, darling dears. Yeah. And this is definitely an enemy, but they will be unmasked to you over the next 7 days. Tell me something more about this unmasking of the wicked. Yeah. You've got the 9 of Swords in the reverse, darling dears. The 9 of Swords in the reverse is telling me that you're going to be thinking clearly about the situation. You're going to have clarity. Yeah, and this is the cut-off game like no other. You're cutting someone off, Hierophant energy. Yeah, this person bucks your system. Whatever your traditions are, whatever your morals are, They're not for it, darling dears. It's also telling me that you're going to be going into some kind of higher learning, some kind of formal training. This is also my marriage card. As I said, somebody's going to be meeting someone new over the next 7 days. We've also got the what? The Emperor. As I said, the marriage card. You could be the Emperor at this moment in time, whether you are male or female. You could be going into your having your own business, an entrepreneur. As I said at the beginning of the read, Mars, Aries energy, the energy of the one, stepping into a leadership role. This could be what all the telephone calls are for. The travel, darling dears. Traveling towards your new job, a new position. Yeah, but you have to also remember, you are the whole army. From the foot soldier to the commandante. You're not taking somebody's rusty cup of opium. Leave it where it is. I said you're thinking more clearly. Yeah, this person had you emotionally involved with them, darling dears. Base of the deck. Hangman, no longer sacrificing yourself to the situation. Good golly and gosh. Out of 6 cards, you got 4 major arcana, so you're being guided at this moment in time. Hangman is water, Neptune energy, darling dears. Okay, this is about you seeing things from a new perspective. Something to do with somebody's feet. If you've got issue with your feet at this moment in time, it's also about your spiritual and your psychic development, darling. This is what is carrying you through. The Hangman also speaks about a situation where you're going to have to call in the police, darling dears. You're definitely going to have to. There's the emotional manipulation. Yeah, base of the deck. Look at this, the wounded healer, darling dears. Yeah. It's, let me say, yeah, King of Swords. You're going to get over this situation, King of Swords, but it's a lot of breaking, what is it? Breaking cycles, doing the shadow work. Look, the Devil card. What did I just say? You're going to be doing the shadow work over the next 7 days, darling dears. But this is going to open up more blessings to come towards you. I already said you're at the culmination of a situation. It's ending. Something to do with your progeny as well. Your 5th child, if you've got 5 children, darling dears. Let me just quickly give it some more. One final one. Thank you. Yeah, as I said, go straight on the Devil card, darling dears. Somebody who's got codependent, controlling, whatever, darling dears. You've done your research on this person. 2 King of Swords in juxtaposed position. You're definitely going to be cutting someone off or out of your life in the next 7 days. Yeah, Hangman has got the Knight of Swords on it. This is some kind of heartbreak, possibly an abusive situation, and it's abuse of trust, darling dears. Yeah, someone abused your trust in a situation. On the Emperor, this person was a fool, and they're going to go through tower moment after tower moment as they have to deal with their karma. Good golly and the gosh. With these 2 cards on top of it, it could also represent an absentee parent in your life, darling dear. Someone who does not tell the truth. If you've got progeny, listen, that progeny need to what? Hit the ground running, bite off their own umbilical cord, because this parent ain't helping them, darling dears. Base of the deck, King of Cups. Somebody's definitely going towards a love situation. If you're going to get involved with someone, let it be the King of Cups. Hey, who's got his own home car career, darling dears. Somebody who's emotionally supportive. Yeah, because of what you've been through in the past, it affected your health, it affected your money. But remember, the plot twist has arrived for you, darling dears. Okay. Definitely a new beginning. A lot of disappointment you went through, but you're, as I said, you're doing the shadow work. You're working through all of these disappointments. Okay? Because you see, when you do shadow work, darling dears, it's observing the thing that happened, no matter where in time it happened. Right? Observing it. Yes, you're going to cry, but you have to cry to release those tears, darling dears. Let it out. Let it out. And then you have to understand that you have been gifted with psychic abilities, right? That is going to help you clear these wounds up once and for all, so you won't have to revisit them. And if you do, you won't be feeling the same. It won't be so emotive for you, okay? All right. Love it. Don't hate it. You're going to have a fabulous, gorgeous week, darling dears, but an enemy is about to be revealed. Let's get one final card, and then we're out of here. To get great. I'm going to go with something that I haven't used in a while. I'm going to use this Making Magic Oracle deck. It's manifesting your dreams, and it's a priestess moon. We just had the moon out, and the moon was skullduggerous. Final card for the fire signs, as this tough cycle is about to end. This one. We've got what? Tinker 555. Love the 555. Manifesting money and income. What did I say? Stepping into a leadership role. Remember, the money could be manifest through a partner that's coming into your life. A rich partner? Who knows, darling dears? Who knows? This is a sigil. Keep it on your person day and night, and then burn it after the 7th day. Remember, I told you that. On that note, I drops me mic. Head over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. Thank you very much for your continued support of me and this channel. I truly appreciate your appreciation. If you're interested in getting your chart done, a bi-wheel chart, darling dears, they are the baddest ones out there, and guess who does them? Me. The bi-wheel chart, darling dears. From it, I can go back in time, or I can do future forecasting, future prediction, darling dears, with exact dates for the timeline and events that are coming towards your life. Or if you want to clarify with something that happened in the past, I will be able to give you the dates around when these shaky grounds were, so that you can clarify it first, so that you know that the any future dates are going to be in alignment. And as I always say, don't get smoked, and don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.